Greetings, wonderful deep dives of planet Earth. I hope your day is going good. I hope everybody's day is going good. And let's just breathe. You got to do better than that. Let's go, deep divers. Whoa. Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Peace. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers. We are here. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope everybody's day is going good. I'm FaceTiming you right now. If you are watching this video, this is your confirmation. You will manifest it. Just say, I will manifest it, right? So UFOs are here. We got a whole lot to talk about, deep divers. I'm not wasting any time. I'm diving straight into it. But this is an interactive show. So make sure you hit that super chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you leave a message and I'll pull it up on screen. We can dive into it. A lot of things have been happening. In fact, since I just made that video, another mysterious object has been taken down in Lake Huron, right? Huron, right? Right there in Michigan, right? So it's funny. I just made a video, put it out, and another UFO got taken down in Lake Huron in Michigan, right? So a lot is happening, deep divers. A lot is happening, and it's happening for a reason. I always tell you, there are no mistakes or coincidences in this universe. Everything is happening for a reason. Oh, Krishawn Jones, you are most appreciated. Thank you so much for the super chat. And have I got a sound effect for that? Don DeMarco will do. Once again, shout out to everyone who's been getting the best-selling book, Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book, The Bible of Becoming Your Greatest Version. Also, the Good Ass Prana shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. So, as I put out that video, another UFO has just been taken out by the Pentagon, right, in Lake Huron, Michigan. So much is happening, deep dives. And I always tell you, there is no such thing as an accident or a coincidence. So we're really going to get into it, right? I haven't even wasted any time, deep divers. I'm straight into it. We're really going to get into it. UFOs are here. This hidden knowledge has been secret for thousands of years. We got a lot to talk about. And like I say, I'm also learning from you, deep divers. I'm learning from people in the chat. So I want to hear from you because I'm sure you got something to tell me. You got to tell me something. So I really want to hear from you. Can we vibe, or let me keep it going? I can do the intro music, deep dives, or if you're really ready, I can keep it going. What do you want? Right? Because I ain't even done the intro yet. I just went head first into it. We can chill out and then get into it. Shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. I hope your day is going good. I hope everybody's day is going good. Let's raise the frequency. Oh, Darlene, you are most appreciated. Thank you so much for that. Got a shout out to the one and the only Darlene Jacks, you are appreciated. I love you, Ralphie. I love you too. And to everyone who made it here, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to hang out with Infinite Waters. Can we get a round of applause, please? Because we're really going to dive deep today. Infinite love, health, and abundance, gratitude, giving thanks, mentor. Shout out to you. You are appreciated. Clap for yourself, deep divers. Right? So I can really go head first into this topic. But I feel we got to warm up first. Can we, what kind of music do you want, deep divers? We got some reggae. We got some 80s. What kind of music do you want? This is your show. What kind of music should we start this show off with? I got a bit of Bob Marley. I got some new music you've never heard before. I got all kinds of classical music here. What are you feeling today, deep divers? We can really raise the frequency. Some reggae. A lot of people are saying some reggae, 80s. You know, I've been playing reggae recently a lot. Reggae is a great vibe. You know, that's what I've realized. You know, reggae music is one of the greatest forms of music. So let's go with some reggae, deep divers. Let's go.
This one make you right on. What about the creation all over creation? Yeah. Sometimes rain and sometimes shine. All the sorrow and trouble you gotta leave behind. Right on. What time is a great tribulation? Nation them a fight against nation. What time is a great tribulation? Chiwata bam bam in a big million. Hearing from the DJ call ranking baby. When we fling it on the roads and reality, I'm the best thing in life for free. Bam bam diddle and diddly, best thing in life for free. Right on.
Best things in life are free, deep divers.
No money, I may say best things in life are free. Bam bam diddle and diddle, best things in life are free. All the bread up on the tree, they sing it sweet and melody. All the fishes and the Caribbean, see them sing best things in life are free. I may say best things in life are free.
Oh yeah, shout out to everyone who's here, deep divers. So like I said, really diving straight into this topic, right? I just put out a video, UFOs are here, and I talked about how the Pentagon has already confirmed. In that video, I said 3 UFOs, unidentified flying objects, have been shot down. Now, the first one was allegedly the Chinese spy balloon in South Carolina. Now, the other 2, one was on Friday. That was in Alaska. But we don't know what it was. Even now, we don't know what it is. They're just saying a metallic object. On Saturday, one was taken down by an F-22. The Pentagon confirmed, in Canada, right? And just as I made that video, another one, a 4th UFO, has been taken down in Lake Huron in Michigan. As I'm speaking, this is unprecedented. I don't think a lot of you really know how big this is. This has never been this has never happened. Never ever happened. But shout out to everyone who's here. The Better Man by SAK, S-A-K, you are appreciated. Wait a second. I started my YouTube, Ralphie. You inspired me to uncover my shadow side. It's exciting and scary at the same time. I want to help people. Sonia Bear. Sonia Bear, let me just I got a tune for you, Sonia. 10 seconds. Wait a second. This is for you, Sonia.
You are now in the mix.
I'm just taking you to those higher frequencies, Sonia. So, deep divers, we're vibing right now. So, like I said, I got a lot of information to share with you. And I also want to hear from you because so much is going on. And I told you, focus on yourself. A lot of what you see happening out there is a big distraction. Focus on yourself, but also pay attention to what's happening in the world around you, because everything is happening for a reason. And like Shakespeare said, the whole world is a stage. So four unidentified flying objects have been taken down, shot down by the US military. This hidden information, this hidden knowledge has been kept secret for thousands of years. And this is what we're really going to get into. You know, do UFOs exist? Absolutely. Go and research Project Bluebeam. Pardon? I said, go and research Project Bluebeam. Pardon? I said, go and research Project Bluebeam. Go and research Roswell. Go and read a book called Behold the Pale Horse, William Cooper. Oh, I'm diving too deep for you deep divers, right? Go and read the Enuma Elish. Go and read the Sumerian tablets. And you realize that we've never ever been alone on this planet. You know, I spoke about how we're living in the age of Aquarius. And what you're going to see, because this has already been the fourth one taken down, the fourth UFO taken down. The last one was taken down just now in Lake Huron in Michigan. We're in the age of Aquarius right now. And that means Christians call it the second coming is coming. A lot of people say, hey, a lot of false flags are going to happen. Fake alien invasion. World War III, right? Something is going to go down. Not because I say so, but because it's the signs of the times. And also, we're living in a world where things can be staged. Things can be, illusions can be thrown around the place, which people believe in. So you have to be very careful that a lot of things that you're seeing are not actually real. And that's why I always tell you, if they say they shot down a UFO with an F-22, you got to remind yourself, you got to take everything with a pinch of salt, preferably sea salt. Because like Shakespeare said, the whole world is a stage. And I told you, US say, okay, the first one was a Chinese air balloon. Let's talk about NASA, which is never a straight answer. You know, I used to put in my intro the round globe. People always say, Ralph, stop putting a round globe. Don't you know the earth is flat? And I tell them, you don't know if the earth is flat or round, or if it's a holographic universe. The theoretical physicist, Professor James Gates, talks about how when you look at the universe closely, you will see adinkras. It's almost like a web browser. So when you remind yourself, people like Nick Brostrom talk about a holographic simulation, talk about all kind of things, and go and research the simulation theory. We'll talk about that. Go and research the simulation theory. A person's perspective, you are appreciated. Trump will build a balloon wall in 2024. The aliens will pay for it, Ralph. If they're aliens, shouldn't we be receiving them rather than shooting them down? Slow motion this side. We need a blast off of that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was a slow motion. If they're alien, shouldn't we be receiving them rather than shooting them down? Well, that's the thing. Nobody actually knows what they are because they haven't told anyone. We've got to remind ourselves a lot of strange things are happening on the planet right now. First of all, a lot of people are going missing. Do you know that, deep divers? All around the world, a lot of people have been mysteriously disappearing. Have you known that? Do you know that? Have you heard of that? Have you heard of that? Where you are right now, have you heard of anyone going missing? If you have, just say I have. If you haven't, say I haven't. I'll be interested to know. Have you heard of anybody going missing? Is there talk of people disappearing mysteriously? Shout out to everybody who's here. Everybody who's diving deep divers. Everybody who's diving deep. Let me shout out to Mastermind Mentality in the house. I got to shout out to that brother. Sci-fi is becoming reality. Don't get caught slipping. Keep shedding light, Ralph. Absolutely. You know, science fiction is science now. It's all happening right now. So, yes, okay, a lot of people are going missing. To the point where in America, a lot of people are going missing. In the UK, a lot of people are going missing. There was a case in the UK of a woman going missing by the name of, I think, Nicola Boulay or something like that. And she left her house with her dog. She went to a lake and she just vanished. To the point where the police said she's in the lake. But you see, the problem is they checked the lake with sonar and they confirmed, the specialist said she's not in the lake. So it's like a mystery. People are just getting taken out of here. Nobody knows where they're going. So we're living in a very strange time. I told you, these are the signs of the times where people are just vanishing. Stranger things. So I made that video, right, not long ago, saying that 3 UFOs have been shot down. The Pentagon has confirmed, but as I just was doing this live, another one got shot down just as I'm speaking in Lake Huron in Michigan. So this is unprecedented. In the space of a week, you've had 4 unidentified flying objects shot down. Now, we're going to go into the hidden information, the hidden knowledge that's been kept secret for thousands of years, because I've got a lot to share with you. But first of all, I always tell you, the whole world is a stage. And anytime they're showing you something in the mainstream media, you always have to put a question mark. Because you see, they're not going to tell you exactly what's going on. Because if they tell you, they would have to kill you. Right? So you've got to remind yourself that there are a lot of distractions. Also, we've got to remind ourselves we're living in a time where there are tensions brewing between Russia and Ukraine, America and China. And this is the reason why when that first spy balloon went down, okay, it was confirmed allegedly as being a Chinese spy balloon. However, these last 3, even they're saying it's not linked to China. So what are these objects? Where are they coming from? We're going to dive into it, deep divers. Right? So, like I said, NASA is never a straight answer. You don't know if the Earth is flat, if it's round, if it's a holographic universe, if we're living in a simulation. because so much has been hidden from the public. A lot of people just believe anything they see in the newspaper, anything they see on the TV, and you have to wake up and smell the coffee. So the reason why I'm showing you this moon landing is because it's very important. How many of you believe we went to the moon? I'll be interested to know. How many of you believe the United States were the first people on the moon? If you do, let me know. Say, I believe they were the first people on the moon. Do you believe that Neil Armstrong, they were the first people on the moon in 1960 something, whenever it was? Do you believe that? The reason why I'm telling you this is because critical thinking is always needed, right? So a lot of people are always divided. Some people say, yes, they went to the moon. Some people say, no, they didn't go to the moon because there were a lot of strange things, even about this picture, right? Also, a lot of people, I don't know how, a lot of people were like, hey, Stanley Kubrick, this great director who directed Eyes Wide Shut, The Shining, Space Odyssey 2001, a lot of people think he actually also directed this. What do you think, Deep Dives? Well, we've got to remind ourselves that with so much happening, you have to question everything, because certain times, anything they show you, you might think is real, but you have to always have critical thinking. What we can know for sure is that we aren't the only life forms on the planet. That's what we know for certain. The reason why is because we're only seeing less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is visible light. That's 0.035%. We don't see X-ray. I told you, in Turkey and Syria, send some good energy over there. When I was making videos about that first, what did I say? Over 500 people have passed away. Unfortunately, that number has risen to over 35,000 people. And I made a video saying 3 strange things that happened before the earthquake hit. What were the 3 strange things I said, Deep Divers? What were the 3 strange things that I said? Number 1, there was a strange cloud hanging over Turkey. In Turkey, very strange cloud. I already broke it down. That was a lenticular cloud. It was hanging there. It almost looked like a portal. The second strange thing that happened, you had birds all swarming all over the place, right? I showed you videos. And the third thing, you had dogs howling. And this was all before it happened. So the animals were awake and aware of what was coming. And we've got to remind ourselves that when you remind yourself that there are levels to this, levels upon levels upon levels. There are, everything in the universe is on a spectrum of levels. So you have ignorance, then you have supreme wisdom, but that supreme wisdom goes on and on and on. Just like intelligence, we think we're smart, right? The Serbian scientist called Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. A lot of people don't know that a lot of Tesla's inventions were confiscated. And Tesla himself said, I didn't invent anything. I just discovered everything. It all goes back to ancient Egypt. And this hidden technology, this hidden information, they knew back then, thousands of years ago, that there are higher levels of intelligence. A lot of people are like, okay, who built the pyramids? Okay, all of these great monuments. all of these lost civilizations. And what you come to find out when you do the research, when you study the work of people like Graham Hancock, you realize that there were advanced civilizations on this planet a long time ago, thousands of years ago. In fact, as you go back into time, the technology is even more advanced. That's the great paradox. As you go back into time, the technology is even more advanced. You had Atlantis, you had Lemuria. Why is this important? Because you realize that we have already made contact. UFOs, aliens, whatever you want to call them, are already here. They've already been here. And it's not what you think. It's not like a flying saucer. It's not like a flying saucer, right? People being abducted. That's the Hollywood version. No, the UFO, the aliens look like you and I. You're not going to be able to tell the difference, because when you dive deeper and you realize that even in the film The Matrix, Agent Smith inhabiting people's bodies is the same thing the Gnostics talked about. The early Christians talked about the archons. And the archons were inorganic entities who could hijack people's consciousness through energy, frequency, and vibration. So we've got to remind ourselves we've never been alone. There are benevolent entities who want to help humanity. There are also malevolent entities who want to help destroy the world. But there are far, far more advanced life forms than human beings. That's what we have to understand, understand, and overstand first and foremost. If you think that human beings are the pinnacle of intelligence, you're in big trouble. Big trouble. So when you remind yourself that all of these reports of UFOs being shot down and all of a sudden, right, this is showing you that something is getting ready to take place. I always tell you, they don't throw out a news story for no reason. They don't throw out a news story for no reason. It's because something is about to happen. Now, when you remind yourself the whole world is a stage. The whole world is a stage. So what if I tell you, deep divers, that some aliens are coming to destroy you and you have to stay indoors? You got to stay in lockdown again. So you got to remind yourself that things can be created to be used, not for you, but against you. And this is the reason why you have to pay very close attention to what's going on. I'm not afraid of aliens. I'm not afraid of UFOs. So you don't have to protect me from them. Right? So when you remind yourself, deep divers, right now we're living in a time where it is hard to distinguish between what is real and what is fake. You're never ever going to know. You're never ever going to know what's real or what's fake, because we're in the last days of this civilization. Is coming to an end. And this is the reason why you have chat bots, you have artificial intelligence. These are the signs of the times where you have holographic people on stage. They look real, but they're not. So the same thing can happen where things can be projected and it seems real, but it's not. So you have to remind yourself that you want to have critical thinking. Don't believe what I tell you. Don't believe what the media tells you. Think for yourself and have a mind of your own. This hidden knowledge has been kept secret for thousands of years. Let's talk about the Anunnaki. Let's talk about the Sumerian tablets. Let's talk about portals in Antarctica. Are you ready to dive deep, or what, deep divers? I wanted to go to Antarctica. I realized I can't go. What? You can't go there, deep divers. You know, there are certain places in the earth that you're not allowed to visit. You're only allowed to go in certain times of the year. Antarctica is one of them. You can't just say, hey, I want to go there. And a lot of people who have gone there have written books that there's a lot happening there a lot of people don't know about. There are so many things happening a lot of people don't know about. And you have to question everything. The ice wall, right? The ice wall. Portals. All kind of things happening. Secret laboratories. And when you remind yourself of this, everything changes. So always remind yourself that there's more than what meets the eye. Always remind yourself right now there are still places you cannot visit. And that means there's more to the story than you're being told. A lot of people right now are starting to wake up on the planet. That's the good news. You know, a lot of people right now are starting to wake up on the planet. And that's very good to hear. Very good to see. I know a lot of people right now are diving deep. And that's why I do these live streams, because I want to hear from you. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that like button. Share the video. Because somebody out there needs to see this. So, what the ancients always knew, it doesn't matter where you go, even if you're in the US right now, the Navajo culture talked about other beings coming to planet Earth. If you're in Australia, good day, mate. The Aborigines talked of sky beings. If you are Zulu, they have their own tradition of other beings coming down. If you're a Dogon in Mali, they have the same tradition. You know, the Dogons were actually able to see Sirius A, Sirius B, all of the Sirius star constellations before even modern day scientists. Go and research the Dogons. Pardon? I said, go and research the Dogon tribe in Mali, because these are one of the most advanced people on the planet. EMRLG, you are appreciated. The Crystal City in Antarctica, the military found. Thanks for bringing it up. Absolutely. There are all kind of cities in Antarctica, underwater. There are caves inside Earth. You know, the Lord of the Rings was all about Middle Earth. You know, J.R. Tolkien, when he wrote the Lord of the Rings, it wasn't just to entertain you. He was giving you a lot of truth that you got to remind yourself there's a battle right now happening. There's a big battle happening. It's been happening for thousands of years. And in the Lord of the Rings, they talk about inner Earth. They talk about Middle Earth. They talk about all kind of things. And you have to realize that's not just a novel. It's actually happening now. Science fiction is not just an abstract thing. It's actually happening right now. As Johnny, Sammy, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that like button. Somebody out there needs to see this. So when you remind yourself, yes, the ice wall in Antarctica, all kind of things happening on this planet people don't even have a clue about. And the reason why is because a lot of people still think that was just a movie. Don't you realize that they told you about this in Independence Day? Pardon? I said, don't you realize that they told you about this in Men in Black? Pardon? I said, don't you realize they told you about this in Deep Impact? They've been telling you about this in all of the Hollywood films. You think it's just for your entertainment? Right? J. Cole, you are appreciated. Shout out to J. Cole. J. Cole, check out VV. Ralph, shout out to you. You are appreciated. Shout out to you. So we've got to remind ourselves that they've been telling you, they've been giving you hints to say, hey, wake up. Wake up, humans. A big battle is happening. You know, we think we're the only ones. People in the government know that there are other beings around. Some people call them the Anunnaki. Some people call them the fallen angels. Whatever you want to call them, they've already been here and they're already amongst us. And they actually control everything in this 3D reality, in the Matrix. They own it. And they put people in power and they take people out of power. This is the reason why sometimes you might see people in the government and all of these officials thinking like they have the power. Then you realize actually they don't. So who does then? Then you realize it goes back to the Sumerian tablets. It goes back to Sumer, which is Iraq, Sumner, which is Iraq, Sumer, which is Iraq, Sumner, which is Iran, goes back to ancient Kemet or Egypt, goes back to us realizing the origins of humanity. When you had star beings coming down and interfering with the genetic code of the hominid who was on this planet. And this is how you have the Homo sapien sapien. This is what this goes into. But when you remind yourself a human being just didn't become like a human being had to go through stages. You had the hominid, you had the Homo erectus, you had the Homo habilis, you had the Homo sapien, Homo sapien sapien. All of this, if you go back even to the Neanderthal, if you go back to the early humans, each one was different all around the planet. And you realize that somehow, some way, there was a rise in consciousness, like an awareness of human beings. And this was the same time the Anunnaki came down. I told you that human beings are part divine, part animal. Human beings have the essence of the gods because they were created by the gods. Am I diving too deep for your deep divers? I can tone it down. I don't know how many deep divers we got in here. I can put PG-13 deep divers, or we can go R rating. I can do PG-13, or we can do R rating. Which one do you want? Lydia Hill, you are appreciated. Let's put our hearts together and meditate, setting the expectation that only peace will prevail. Woo!
Perfect.
You got a Street Fighter perfect.
Perfect.
Say it again.
Perfect.
Don DeMarco.
Got a Don DeMarco right there. Absolutely. Let's put our hearts together and meditate, setting the expectation that only peace will prevail. We've got to remind ourselves we have tremendous power. Tremendous power. And, you know, this is what's been actually hidden from a lot of people. Hey, J. Cole, you are appreciated. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share this video. Hit that like button right now. Share this video. Hit that like button right now. Share this video. Someone out there needs to see this. J. Cole, been watching you since 2017. Life-changing information. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And, you know, Jay, we're in the information age. So much is happening. And this is a great time to be alive. because right now the hidden is coming to light. We're in the age of revelations. And like I said, I just made that video. 3 UFOs, unidentified flying objects, were shot down by the US in the last week. Okay. As I made that, as I started this live, another one in Lake Huron in Michigan just got shot down. This is unprecedented. What's going on? There's more that's happening, and we have to be aware of this. So as I was saying, you can only understand what they show you if you know the true history. And the true history is in all sacred texts. They talk about advanced beings. They talk about beings coming down from the heavens and giving human beings knowledge, right? And this is very important, because you got to remind yourself that, like I told you, you might think you're smart with an iPhone, your iPhone 14. I'm so tech savvy. That's old technology. iPhone, they got technology 5,000 years ahead of an iPhone. If you think what Bluetooth can do, just imagine what they have they're not even showing you. Let me repeat that. If you get excited about Bluetooth and wireless and your iPhone 14 and your fast internet connection, just imagine the technology that's not in the public's hands. So you've got to remind yourself that this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people, entities who are 5,000 years ahead of the technology you're using right now. And it's not human beings. I'm talking about other beings from star systems. In fact, when you remind yourself, deep divers, I told you, go and research Kepler 1649c. Go and research Kepler 1649c, because this is Earth 2.0. This is what a lot of people aren't even paying attention to. In fact, there is TOI 700, which is an Earth-like planet found in the habitable zone. But Kepler, the telescope, costs $600 million. Now, the reason why they spend so much, over $10 billion for a James Webb telescope, over $10 billion, that's not cheap, for a James Webb telescope, over $5 billion for a Hubble telescope. They're not playing around. They know that this is where they have to invest their money in. The reason why is because something is out there. They want to make contact with it. And a lot of people think, oh, that's not real. Why do you think they're investing so much money into it? They know it's real. That's the reason why you got to study these Hollywood films. Nicholas K., you are appreciated. I don't care about the PG or R. I want the not about being mean, not about being nice, but being authentic, Ralph. One love and much gratitude to you and all the deep divers. Hey, you are appreciated. Nicholas K. in the house. You know, it's always authentic here. So you got to watch the film Elysium. The film Elysium was actually showing you where the world is heading. Starring Matt Damon. Very good film. Also, the film you want to check out is Prometheus, directed by Ridley Scott. He was also showing you what's really going on in that film. Have you watched that film, Prometheus? Because in that film, it's such a great film. You know, Ridley Scott is a great director, but he was really putting in a lot of great information in that film. Another film you want to see is Space Odyssey 2001. Stanley Kubrick, masterpiece. Because Stanley Kubrick was way ahead of his time. One of the greatest directors ever. And in that film, even Planet of the Apes was a great film. In that film, Space Odyssey 2001, that was also showing you, because there's a scene in the film where it shows what human beings used to be. Have you seen that film, Deep Divers? One of the first scenes in that film, Space Odyssey 2001, Stanley Kubrick was showing you how it all started. Human beings were without knowledge. He was showing you a timeline. Very important film to watch because, you see, so much is happening right now. And it can only be understood when you go back and see where this all started. So when you remind yourself that right now we're in a world where so much is happening, F-22 shooting down UFOs, that would have been like something out of a science fiction movie, right? But it's happening right now. So this is why we're in the quickening. I told you that they can tell you, hey, an alien just invaded California. People may not even question it because right now, people, their mind is like whatever. People aren't shocked anymore. People have already been in lockdown. So it's like now people are ready for the aliens. A lot of people are aware that we aren't the only ones. It's a distraction. Absolutely. We have to go within. We've got to remind ourselves that every human being is totally different. We are connected, but each and every one of us is like the X-Men. We all have a secret superpower. You have to find out what your superpower is. This is what a lot of people don't know about. When you go to school, you were studying about this and about that. You weren't studying about who you really are. If you had that information, let's just say you had that information at 6 years old, you're studying till 18, you're going to be like Superman, Superwoman. By the time you graduate, you already know who you are, you're set. But what happens in the Matrix? You spend so much time studying about things which don't serve you that you feel that you've learned everything. No. When I finished university, I realized I didn't know anything. I got to start again. I got to start learning again. So when you remind yourself that a lot of things are done for distractions, you've got the Super Bowl. All sporting events go back to ancient Greece and ancient Egypt. All sporting events go back to ancient Greece or ancient Egypt. In ancient Greece, they had the first Olympics. And they would use sports as a form of community entertainment. People come together. And in Rome, they would use sports as entertainment, bread and circuses, the gladiator arena. The same thing is happening today. A lot of it is distractions. Now, sport in itself is good, helping people train, get fit. But the whole theater around sports is to take your attention because it's all about energy. And anytime you have thousands of people in a stadium, this creates energy. This is the reason why they have these amphitheaters, they have these stadiums, because you can harvest energy. Not only that, it's a ritual. And Super Bowl is a massive ritual. You know, the Super Bowl is always a ritual. The reason why is because it has an agenda. Even the advertisements in the Super Bowl have an agenda. The people who are singing at the Super Bowl have an agenda. It's all tied in to the great plan. And this is the reason why they give you these sporting events. It's not just to entertain you. It's because it's to help program you. Shout out to everybody who's here. Deep divers, hit that like button, share the video. Hit that like button, share the video. Sev1 Yi, you are appreciated. Thank you for being you. The world is grateful for your valuable soul. Much love. Hey, you are appreciated. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who's here. Like I said, you could have been anywhere, deep divers, but you chose to hang out with Infinite Waters. And I had to do this video because so much is happening. J. Cole, you are most definitely appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. So, like I said, this happened, right? When I made that first video, an unidentified object was shot down over northern Canada on Saturday, marking the third time in a week that US fighter jets have taken down objects in North American airspace. On Friday, an unidentified object was shot down in Alaska airspace by a US F-22, and last weekend, a Chinese surveillance balloon was taken down by F-22s off the coast of South Carolina. There is no indication this is linked with China's surveillance balloon, but national security officials remain on edge across the continent. Now, that's important because I thought that was over. I thought, okay, 3 is enough. But no, there's another one. And you're going to find out that there's going to be more and more of these UFO sightings and people shooting down things in the sky. And you see, they'll tell you, okay, it might be a surveillance thing, but it's not, right? You have to question everything because it's not just about USA and China. It's not just about Russia and Ukraine. You see, you're still living in a very small, narrow mind if you think it's just about country against country. You got to realize, like I told you, there's other planets which are just like Earth. Do you believe in a parallel universe, deep divers? The reason why this is important is because they're getting closer. They're getting closer to tell you, hey, you know what? You can go and live on Kepler 1649. This is where this is all leading. And this is why you have to go and watch that film Elysium to know what I'm talking about. In the film Elysium, the rich, the elites, everyone was trying to get off the planet. And the rich and the elites were able to afford space travel, and they would go to this other place, space station, and they would have the best healthcare, high quality living, and Earth became a prison planet. And everybody on Earth was trying to get away in the space station. Great film because it was showing you what's going on. And this is the reason why I always tell you that we aren't alone. We've never, ever been alone. Nikola Tesla realized we're not alone. In fact, Nikola Tesla was so aware of the energy all around us, he realized that human beings had been had. Why did Tesla say human beings had been had? Because you see, Tesla realized that nobody has to pay for energy. What did Tesla find out, deep divers? What did Tesla find out about energy? What did Tesla, put it in the chat, what did Tesla find out about energy? Let me see if you know. Lucas, you are appreciated. Shout out to you, Lucas. No such thing as aliens. I like that. Aliens, but there is Project Bluebeam. And I always say Google Project Bluebeam, deep divers. So thank you for that, Lucas. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone who's here. So what did Tesla find out about energy? Because this is huge, right? Free. Thank you. He found out energy is free. Now, this may not seem like a big thing. This is actually huge. Tesla, this is the reason why Tesla died penniless. He died in a hotel in New York, if I'm not mistaken. But because of Tesla, you have so many great inventions right now. But you see, Tesla was alive the same time as Edison. Edison charged people for electricity. Tesla wanted to give it to people for free. We're going to talk about that. Sadia Annie, you are appreciated. Ralph, your insight is spot on. Appreciate you. Hey, you are appreciated. So Edison wanted to charge people for electricity. He did, right? The AC, alternating current, the light bulb. Tesla said, I want to give it to people for free. I want everybody in the world to have this free energy. That means you don't have to pay electricity. You don't have to pay gas bill, light bill, none of that. It's going to be free energy. And this was a big problem because Tesla was so smart. He already found out that by using Earth's electromagnetic field, you can actually generate as much energy as you want. This was a problem. The reason why is because the US government realized if Tesla's inventions, that free energy was available to everyone, we will make no money. And people will become empowered, self-sustainable. They went with Edison. So now you got to pay for your light bill. Energy is free. And this is why I told you all of this hidden information, that there is no such thing as an energy shortage. You can't run out of electricity. You can't run out of energy. It's everywhere. So when people say, I got to pay my light bill, I got to do this, that's how they enslave you. But like Tesla knew, there's something called free energy. In fact, in Africa, in Kenya, there's an inventor who created a TV. It doesn't even use a mains adapter. They're not going to tell you this. In the Congo, they have real vibranium. They have rocks which produce electricity. In the Congo, they're not going to tell you this. They have so much technology, which is free energy, where you're not needing a power supply. It's generating its own energy. Like you have the wind-up radio. We know that. You got the wind-up watch. So when you begin to remind yourself that this is a big secret, that there is free energy, everything should be free. Have you ever noticed, deep divers, that paying for water is very silly? Why should you pay for water? Have you noticed that? Do you know the water industry is $1 billion industry? But have you ever thought for a second that it's absurd to pay for water? Water's free, right? But this is the same thing that happened with electricity. Once upon a time when Tesla discovered that it's free energy. Energy is free. Same thing as water. Water should be free. Yet people are paying big bucks just for drinking water. And it's a big $1 billion industry. So we've got to remind ourselves that so much is happening that we're unaware of. And this is the reason why it's so important right now to realize that human beings have been controlled for a long time, distracted. And that's the reason why I told you, when you hear of these UFO sightings, like UFOs being shot down, first of all, you don't even know what the hell they are. Because anything they tell you, you have to put a question mark. The reason why is because, let's just say, I'm going to tell you the whole truth. Nothing but the truth, right? Let's just say for a second I'm NASA. And I say, I'm going to tell human beings everything we see. Do you think that's going to be beneficial to NASA? That's just a simple question. Because NASA is a business. The US space station is $150 billion. Pardon? $150 billion. The International Space Station. It's a lot of money. Now, do you think if I've seen something or I really know what's going on, I'm going to tell you? Do you think it would be wise for me to tell you? Do you think it will be wise for NASA to tell you what's going on? They can't. The reason why they can't tell you what's really going on is because information is not for everybody. Information has never been for everybody. Information comes at a cost. You got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. You got to be initiated into the knowledge. This is the reason why they got secret societies, Freemasonry, because knowledge is not for everybody. You got to pay for it. You got to be selected. You got to be chosen. And same thing is happening with NASA, where you realize that a lot of what we're being told, like when they tell us, okay, we just discovered Kepler 1649c, they already discovered something else. That's not the one you want to focus on. And then you realize that you can't just listen to everything they're telling you, because they're not going to tell you everything they know. So we have to remind ourselves we're not victims, we're co-creators. Everything that you want to know actually exists inside of yourself. All you have to do is go into the Akashic records of who you really are. The Akashic records, Edgar Cayce went under the pyramids, and the Akashic records are this hall of records. All of the information on the earth exists in the Akashic records. But there's also an Akashic records inside of you. This is the big secret. This is the hidden knowledge that if you are in a certain frequency, if you are in a high state of meditation and go within, you can find God. If you go within, you can find all the secrets in the universe. You can see there's something called remote viewing. Now, this is very important because during the Cold War with the Soviets and the US, and they wanted to know what was going on. They had people who had reached that certain frequency who were being used by the governments on either side to remote view. Remote viewing is the art of literally projecting yourself into a secret basement and seeing what's really going on there. Right? So you've got to remind yourself that all of this is inside of us. You can do tremendous things. And this is what this hidden knowledge is all about. To realize that I don't even have to look out there to see what's going on. All I have to do is close my eyes and I can see what's going on. If you realize that film Inception, Christopher Nolan, Leonardo DiCaprio, great film. And Inception was like, what was the slogan for Inception? You got to find out if you're dreaming or you're awake, right? Great film. And you got to remind yourself that you're in the film Inception. There's one scene in the film. The guy says, "Oh, you come here to sleep?" He says, "No, I come here to wake up." Why is this important? Because you see, in ancient Kemet or Egypt, deep divers, hit that like button. Hit that like button, share the video. Hit that like button. Somebody out there needs to see this video. In ancient Egypt, they would take the lotus flower, and this would give them heightened states of awareness. They would go into a trance-like state. This is the reason why the ancient Kemetic Egyptian culture was so advanced, because they were tapping in. They were tuning in. They were having altered states of consciousness. And this is the reason why even now a lot of people are going to Peru. A lot of people are going on ayahuasca retreats. And a lot of people who go on ayahuasca retreats, they'll tell you, we ain't alone. All you need to do is go to Peru. Go to an ayahuasca initiation. You're going to see a few things. And a lot of people who have done that, they have awakened to realize that, okay, there's so much going on that we haven't been told about. So, like I said, this is the Hollywood version of the UFOs, but this is really what's going on. When you remind yourself, there are parts of the earth, Antarctica, where you're not allowed to visit. There are portals around this place, wormholes, all kind of things happening. And you got to read the Sumerian tablets to know what I'm talking about. You got to realize who the Anunnaki are, who created human beings to be slaves to mine for gold. All of this ties into what's happening with these F-22s shooting down unidentified objects. It's all tied into it. Deep divers, I think I'm talking too much. How you feeling today? I didn't even wait, deep divers. I just went straight into it. I went straight into it. I went straight into it. You know, one of the things I want to tell you, deep divers, is there is a massive awakening happening right now. That's the good news. You know, so many people I'm seeing are starting to wake up. And it's because we're leaving that old energy of Pisces. We're entering that new energy of Aquarius. And this is the reason why it's a great time to be alive. It's also a time where everything is being sped up. I made the video about the quickening. And in the quickening, you're going to have this acceleration of time. You can see it with things like TikTok. So have you noticed, deep divers, that one day feels like it just passes away so quickly? Have you noticed that time is speeding up? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that there's a movement happening which is very quick? Have you noticed that? I've noticed it. I've noticed that everything is in a rush. Everybody's in a rush on this planet. And it's a kind of neurosis. And it's also part of the quickening. What do I mean by this? You see, when you remind yourself that so many people are posting things online, uploading things to TikTok, uploading videos to YouTube, sharing things on the internet, like there are billions of things being shared. This is the quickening. So we're in a time right now of the information age. We're in a time right now where you're not even going to be able to focus on one thing because another thing is going to be right in front of you. This is the time we're in right now. And in this time, this is the reason why Orwell said there's two ways to control a population. You can give them no information, or give them so much information they become overwhelmed. We're in the latter. We have so much misinformation that people are overwhelmed. They don't know what to believe in. And this is all a sign of the times that, like I said, when I made this video, there were only 3 unidentified objects. Now there's 4, one in Lake Huron in Michigan. And you're going to start to see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 100 UFOs in the sky. You're going to start to see stories like this because we're in the quickening. And we're in a time where big things are going to be revealed to humanity. One of the things right now that you don't want to get caught doing is really falling asleep, because a lot of things are going down right now. A lot of things are going down right now. You know, one of the biggest things that I've seen is a lot of people don't realize how God's got created in the first place. And when we remind ourselves that in all cultures around the world, they talk about these deities who, they didn't just say they were, a guy in the sky with a beard. No, they talked of beings who are actually part animal, part human, right? Sometimes it's the head of a lion and the body of a woman, or sometimes it's the head of a snake and the body of a man. They talk of this, these advanced beings who weren't just human, they were also animals. And you see this in Greek mythology as well. You know, a lot of Greek mythology, I always tell you, study Greek mythology, because where a lot of these Greek poets got inspired by, their inspiration came from real life events. You know, a lot of you might read Hercules and Hades and all of this Greek mythology, not realizing there's something in there that you want to pay attention to, because they're not just writing for the sake of writing. It's all tied into what's going on right now. So we've got to remind ourselves that all around the world, there were beings who were deified as gods. And these were beings who had information, they had knowledge. And that's what it's always been about. This, to rule over people, you need information and you need knowledge. And that's the reason why I tell you this is because anything you're being told, you have to question. You have to know it for yourself. Don't listen to what I tell you. Don't listen to what the cat down the road tells you. Don't listen to what the media tell you. You have to know it for yourself. This is how we get empowered on the planet. The reason why is because once you know it for yourself, you won't have a second doubt in your mind. It's better to know it for yourself than to blindly assume. And this is humanity's salvation. This is humanity's freedom card out of jail. Dimensional Veil, you are appreciated. And deep divers, make sure you hit that like button. Share this video. I want everybody to hit that like button right now. Share this video because someone out there needs to see this. Dimensional Veil, shout out to you. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance. Socrates, thank you, Ralph, for smashing down the knowledge. We are forever grateful. There is only one good, knowledge, and there is only one evil, ignorance. Socrates, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree. And evil is ignorance. That's all it is. And what this has always been about is knowledge and ignorance. You're either in the know or you're in the ignorance. And right now, we have to be in the know. We have to be knowledgeable to what's going on. And that means you have to be critical of everything. You see, critical thinking makes you become smarter and question everything. Anytime you're shown a story, say, wait a minute, you got to do critical thinking. You got to ask the cat down the road. You got to phone a friend, ask the audience, do the research. Because when I was being told about this Anunnaki story, right? When I was being told about this Anunnaki story, I said, hey, that sounds cool. But then I did my own research. And, you know, I was researching for many, many years. And I started to realize that in all ancient texts, they talk about beings coming down from the heavens. Even in the Bible, they talk about the Nephilim breeding with the daughters of earth. There's always another entity coming down from somewhere. This is one of them. Hey, Australian, love, you are appreciated. Thank you so much. You are appreciated. Right? When you remind yourself, deep divers, let me give you, because I made a video a long time ago about the fifth dimension. If you see an ant can only see in one plane, can only see what's in front of it. can only see in lines. It has no concept of a three-dimensional reality. Can only see in one dimension. When you remind yourself that there was a film called Interstellar. Interstellar, great film. They were talking about something called a tesseract, which is a fourth dimensional cube, fourth dimensional object. And there was one scene of the guy was in the tesseract. In other words, when you go to another dimension, you look at this dimension like it's so small, right? And you realize that we are also ants to higher dimensions. We think, okay, we've got a house, we've got some kitchen, a car. That's just pebbles on the beach, right? And you realize that there's levels upon levels. The hypercube is the fifth dimension, right? And it's so interesting, deep dives. I got to do a whole another video on that. But what you realize is that when you're in one dimension, you cannot see into the other dimension higher than you. And this is the reason why we're only seeing less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is visible light. And this should tell you we're not alone. There are entities in front of you right now you can't even see. The reason why is because they're out of your bandwidth. You need more data. Top up. And when you remind yourself of this, you realize, okay, this is the reason why I shouldn't just be blindly believing something. I've got to have an open mind. I've got to have critical thinking, because I know there are things I don't know about. There are things I can't even see. And you'll only know this if you put on infrared, if you put on X-ray goggles, if you can have sonar abilities like dolphins. Dolphins can find each other. GPS inbuilt. How cool is that? They can communicate over miles, long distances, have conversations, sonar. Can you do that? So when you remind yourself that some beings can, telepathy, some beings on this planet are clairvoyants, mediums, have tremendous gifts. Everyone is different. And it depends what level you're on. So that's why I told you that we've got to remind ourselves with everything that you see, always realize there's levels to knowledge. And often what you see at first is not the whole truth. There's always more going on behind the scenes. There's always more going on than you know about. There's always more to the story. You know, this is a piece of art which shows what's really going on to an artist's mind, right? You know, it's like the scene in The Matrix, which was like, welcome to the real world. So when Morpheus took Neo to the real world, it was all like flying saucers and spaceships and all kind of things. It was ugly. Welcome to the real world. In other words, this is what it looks like, really. This is what's really going on. So you might go into Starbucks, drink your coffee. You don't even realize this is really what's going on. It's Star Wars. Star Wars. You know, you think Star Wars was just a film. No. The gods are at war. The stars are at war. Human beings are at war. You think human beings are the only ones at war? No, it's been happening all throughout this universe. And it's about us realizing this fact. You know, I used to watch Star Trek for a period of time. And in Star Trek, they were always showing you. You know, they had technology in Star Trek that we have right now But Star Trek was in the 60s, I think, or 70s, right? It was a long time ago. So how on earth did they have Beam Me Up, Scotty? How on earth did they have Skype chats? Ever wondered that, deep divers, how in Star Trek they had technology way ahead of what we're using right now? Ever wondered that? Or what if, do you know who wrote Star Trek? Do you know who the writers of Star Trek were? See, these are the questions you want to ask yourself. This is the research to do. Say, who wrote Star Trek? What did they know? Because if you watch the old episodes of Star Trek, they'll show you technology, 1966, that we're using right now, even technology we haven't even got right now. But they're showing you where humanity is heading. They've got technology where you can just teleport, go from one place to the other. And this is the reason why you want to remind yourself that you want to pay close attention to these series like Star Trek, because they have a lot of hidden clues. It was all about boldly going where no man has gone before. You see, Star Trek is showing you the journey of Captain Kirk. Spock is showing you the journey. Where are they? They're showing you a journey of the future. They're showing you a journey of them traveling through space. But did you ever wonder where their planet was? They're on a ship right now. They're going somewhere. Right? So we've got to remind ourselves, even Star Trek, they're showing you something that's been happening. This is what's happening right now. Space exploration. This is the reason why they have invested over $10 billion on a James Webb telescope. Right? Let me go PG-13, deep divers. I'm diving too deep for you. Let me go PG-13. How you feeling today, deep divers? How you feeling today, deep divers? Right? So, we're living in great times. So like I say, I just did the video about the 3 unidentified flying objects shot down. Now, the first one we know was the Chinese spy balloon, but the other 2 we don't know about. One was in Alaska, and the other one was in Canada on Saturday. And like I said, as I started this stream, one was taken down in Lake Huron, Michigan. So a lot is happening. The hidden knowledge that has been kept secret for thousands of years. We got a lot to talk about. Deep divers, make sure you hit that like button, share the video. Make sure you hit that like button, share the video. Make sure you hit the like button, share the video. Now, let's raise the frequency. What should we raise the frequency with, deep divers? 80s or reggae? Which one should we raise the frequency with? 80s reggae. We can even do some Brazilian vibes, right? Because we got to take a water break, deep divers. Shout out to everyone who's here, and I'm reading every single comment. As always, Studio H, you are appreciated. Studio H, I love you, Ralph. Did entities, aliens, or angels all come at the same time with the rise in consciousness of the humans? Are they our reflections? That's a great question. That's a great question. And like I always say, a lot of people saying 80s. I'm going to go 80s. Let me answer this question first. Great question. I myself am still researching. What I do know is that many entities, people who they talk about in the Sumerian tablets, the Anunnaki, godlike beings who came down from Earth, they've always been here. in other star systems, some people say Nibiru, Planet X, they've always been floating around. But you see, Earth is a paradise, and this is the reason why they're here. This is the reason what attracted them to Earth. So a lot of people have been told planet Earth is a terrible place. No, this is actually heaven on earth, right? Actually heaven on earth. And when you remind yourself of this, everything changes. So to other beings, this place is like a paradise. You got gold, you got a lot of minerals that they need, a lot of stones and all kind of things. So that whole story of the Anunnaki, of alien beings coming down who tampered with the genetic code of human beings, turned the hominid into the Homo sapiens sapien with just enough intelligence to mine gold for them. There are mines everywhere, blood diamonds, all kind of things. But has anyone ever wondered where this is all going to? Slow motion. You know, a lot of gold is extracted, but more gold is extracted than it's being actually used, right? More gold is being extracted from the planet than it's actually being used on the planet. So this is why a lot of people say, okay, this gold is being shipped somewhere. Is being shipped somewhere, right? And that's why you got to study the Anunnaki story. But as well, we've got to remind ourselves that we are all hybrids. We are all hybrids. The Laurie Show, you are appreciated. Shout out to the Laurie Show. You are most definitely appreciated. Oh, we're going into that already. Ralph, what do you think of Dolores Cannon's 3 Waves of Volunteers? You know, Dolores Cannon, who wrote The Convoluted Universe, great author, great mind, great visionary. And I always say, I'm somebody who studies other people. You know, I studied Dolores Cannon's work, The Convoluted Universe, great body of work. And the 3 Waves of Volunteers, when I came across that, it made me think of the light workers who are here. It made me think of the chosen ones. It made me realize that, yes, there are so many people who are coming back, waking humanity. Humanity doesn't listen. They got to come back again, right? And you have different waves of volunteers who are coming back, helping the planet awaken. And it's not just happening through speaking. It's happening through agriculture. You've got scientists who are awake. You've got teachers who are awake. You've got nurses who are awake. Happening in all fields of life where people want to help humanity get to a better place. Shout out to everyone who's here. Let's go 80s, deep divers. And let's raise the frequency. Once again, deep divers, hit that like button. Just hit that like button, deep divers. Share this video. Hit that like button, share this video. Someone out there needs to see this. Let's go 80s and let's raise the frequency. Let me get some water. I'm so happy. The whole world is just beginning. We already won. It's about us all. So many beautiful deep divers here. So many beautiful deep divers who are here. How you feeling today, deep divers? Let's go.
Turn it on. Turn it up. You are now in the mix.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It's a choice. It's always a choice, deep divers. Wait for the guitar. To manifest whatever you want, to be whatever you want. It's a choice. Freedom is a must. We have to become the spoon. Oh yes, shout out to everybody who's here. Absolutely, I know you enjoyed that, deep divers. I know you enjoyed that. Quicksilver Tarot, you are appreciated. How can we be made more aware of what is coming in the upcoming year? Time is flying past. Hey, no kidding. Felt like it was just last year, yesterday. Time is speeding up. I told you. Time is speeding up. Time is speeding up. And to be more aware of what's coming, take time to meditate. You know, I put out a meditation video. Everybody go and check it out after this. I'm in the heart of nature a lot. And we've got to remind ourselves to go back to the Great Mother. Tune into Gaia as much as possible. Because you will receive downloads which will guide you to what you should be doing and where you should be. To be more aware of what's coming, remind yourself, in the quickening, the ignorance is going to be as tempting as the wisdom. What do I mean by this? It's not an accident. You have TikTok. It's not an accident. You have YouTube. You have Facebook. You have Instagram. You have this whole new world. This is where the world is heading to. Apps. A lot of these distractions, they can be tools. They can change your life. But you have to be mindful of how you use them. You know, to be more aware of what's coming for the upcoming year, connect with as many like minds as possible. You see, it's a lesson for humanity, because you see, people often ask, how come the inorganic ones control everything in the 3D? How come the inorganic ones control everything in the 3D? And it's a lesson, because it wasn't always like this. It's just that the chosen ones fell from grace. They got carried away. We're all chosen. It's just that people got distracted with the Super Bowl. They got distracted with the Super Bowl. They forgot about focusing on themselves. They got caught up into the illusion. They forgot about what's really going on. Bread and circuses is how they control the masses. And therefore, if you want to become more aware, you got to remind yourself that there are bigger things going on than the Super Bowl. There are bigger things going on than the Super Bowl. There are bigger things going on than the Super Bowl. There are bigger things going on than the Olympics. There are bigger things going on than the Grammys. There are bigger things going on than the Oscars. It's a lot happening. You don't want to get caught up in an illusion. You better wake up. This is how you can become more aware of what's coming in the upcoming year. Research. You know, a lot of people listen, but how many people actually say, you know what? I'm going to read around this topic. I'm going to buy 10 books from Amazon. Feel Alive by Ralph Smart is one of them. right? I'm biased, right? How many people say, I'm going to create a reading list of all of this information I need to get my hands on? This is how to become more aware of what's coming in the upcoming year. Unite with as many people as possible and choose love. 7-7. You are appreciated. Love you all. Feed into the love. Love will never fail you. Wait a minute. Can we get a Street Fighter perfect?
Perfect.
I said, can we get a Street Fighter perfect?
Perfect.
I said, can we get a Street Fighter perfect one more time?
Perfect.
You got a perfect, right? Absolutely. Feed into the love. Love will never fail you. Absolutely. You see, that's what it's always about, you know, and that's really humanity's saving grace. I told you, we're living in a very strange time right now. We're living in a world where mysterious things are happening. We often hear this term of abduction. And a lot of people think this is just in the films, in the Hollywood movies, people getting abducted. But this is actually happening. Go and research how many people have gone missing in the world this year and last year compared to the last 5 years. You realize a lot of people have gone missing. Have you noticed that, deep divers, people are going missing? I told you in the US, a lot of people are going missing. But they're not just going missing. They're going missing in very bizarre circumstances. Even in the United Kingdom, people are going missing in very bizarre circumstances. These are all the signs of the times we're in, where strange things are happening. Very strange things are happening. In the United Kingdom, there was a woman who went for a walk with her dog. She left her phone on the bench, and they said she's in the river, but nobody could find her there. But then they say that's the only place she would be, but nobody could find her there. So where did she go? So if you don't realize that something is very strange is happening on the planet, people are disappearing without a trace, you better wake up. So the hidden knowledge that has been kept secret for thousands of years. I was taking a walk today and I had my mobile phone in my pocket, and it was a big disturbance for me. And I don't sleep with my phone on. The reason why is because your DNA is a biological internet. Your DNA is a biological internet. Before Wi-Fi, you had the DNA. In fact, all of this technology is actually making people more stupid. I use this technology as a tool, but I also know if you always rely on your iPhone just to do simple calculation or simple thing, you're going to lose cognitive skills. A lot of people can't even write a letter. All they can do is send an emoji. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble. So I started to realize that, okay, turn the phone off, take a break from the phone. And it's amazing. If you take a break from the phone for 1 hour, some things happen. But if you take a break from your phone for 24 hours completely, even better things happen. And I've done it for a long time. And we forget that once upon a time, people didn't have mobile phones, but they were doing just fine. In fact, the great paradox is that there was actually more intimacy. When people had no mobile phones, there was more twin flame connections. People were meeting each other, not by accident, for a reason. Not by a coincidence, for a reason. Things were aligning. It was all happening. You didn't need someone's number or their WhatsApp. You will meet them because you would meet them because it was supposed to be. And the reason why it was happening is because people were tuning in to their desires, and thus it was coming to them. And now what you have is that people want heaven, but they haven't done the work. People want the perfect husband, the perfect wife, the perfect man, the perfect woman, but you haven't even worked on yourself. Delusions of grandeur. This is where the world is. Today's culture, you got people say, I want a YouTube Gold Award. You haven't put any work in. Instant gratification. Caramel Dreams, you are appreciated. Love the message. You are appreciated. You are appreciated. The reason why this is important is because it's so easy to fake the funk. It's so easy to pretend. There are people on Instagram, and add me on Instagram, Deep Divers, at Ralph Smart. There are people on Instagram who, there was a woman many years ago who was messaging me on Instagram, and she was telling me about her journey, and she said she came from a place of insecurity all of her life. She just wanted to be someone. And I said, wait a minute. You got 1 million followers. Then she said, yeah. Little did I know, she bought them. It's not hard to do. So she wanted it so bad. She didn't do the work, but she wanted to create the illusion she was this somebody. But inside she felt empty because she cheated it. This is what's happening in today's world. This is what's happening in today's world. A lot of people say, I want a lot of attention. But for what? What have you done? You don't want it unless you've done something for it. Otherwise, you haven't earned it. So we've got to remind ourselves we're living in an instant gratification society. We're living in a world where people are going to cheat, steal, and rob just to get what they want. And this is the reason why a lot of people are in a bad way, because they haven't done it the right way. And when I talk of becoming your greatest version, you don't want to be in a rush. You don't want to be desperate. You don't want to be doing something out of your true authenticity. I've been on YouTube sharing day in, day out, doing a little samba baby, but I haven't cheated. I've just stayed me, and I'm still winning. And this is a lesson that, you see, everything happens in cycles. In 2013, Ralph Smart was a rock star. I was Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones. Harry Styles, going around the world in private planes. Sandro Pay, all kind of places. And the reason why is because it was the time for that. But I also had a voice saying, Ralph, the cycle is going to switch. You're going to go to a different season. And I was aware of that. And I embraced it. I'm telling you this because we've got to remind ourselves there are cycles for a reason. Where you are in life is going to dictate what you're going to be doing. When I was a child, I thought like a child. I played like a child. Now I'm a grown-ass man. Deep divers. So you got to remind yourself there's levels. And somebody like me who's already been through the golden age of YouTube, I'm so fortunate. I was in the golden age of YouTube with people like Jenna Marbles, Vsauce, Spirit Science. I'm off the golden age of YouTube. So I was on YouTube in the best time. So I'm so grateful because I knew what it was when it first started. Now this is like a watered down version. And this is the gift you get being an OG in the game. You can go through it all and realize there's levels to this shit. You realize that there's cycles, there's golden ages, there's periods, and it's the same thing that happened to humanity. See, once upon a time, there were civilizations on this planet who were so connected. They were so in tune with Gaia. They lived in peace and harmony for thousands of years. They would wake up, do whatever they want, go back to sleep. It was Neverland. Where do you think Peter Pan came from? There was a time where you would wake up and almost be in a paradise. And this existed. It was the golden age, the land of milk and honey. But you see, everything changes. Even if you're in a golden age, you have to go through another cycle. And we're in another cycle right now. And a lot of people right now are having this remembrance of what it used to be like once upon a time. And this is the reason why this awakening is happening on the planet, because a lot of people are getting reset. The light bulb is going on in a lot of people's minds. A lot of people are getting a wake-up call. A lot of people are starting to realize MTL. What do I say MTL stands for? Deep divers. Let me see how many people are very, very hardcore deep divers. What's MTL, deep divers? Hit that like button, by the way, deep divers. Share this video. Hit that like button, share this video. What's MTL? I'll be interested to see. What's MTL? I'll be interested to see if anyone gets it. Thank you. Australian, more to life. Right? A lot of people are realizing it's MTL, more to life. There's more to life right now. There's more to life than being miserable in a boring ass job. This is the reason why so many great things are happening right now. You know, it's the greatest time for transformation on the planet. Like I told you, you're going to start to hear more stories of UFOs being shot down. You're going to start to hear more and more of these stories because something else is going on. We often think that the people who are pulling the strings in the matrix are corporations. Nothing could be further from the truth. This is an energetic war, a spiritual warfare. And when you have this knowledge, you realize this. Millionaires don't study astrology. Billionaires do. There's a reason why every religion has a spiritual part. And that spiritual part of hidden knowledge contains a greater truth. In Judaism, you have the Kabbalah. My mentor studied the whole Kabbalah, and it's extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. I always say, dive into the Kabbalah, and you're going to start to see things. Study Sufism. All of these teachings have so many great truths that it will really open your eyes. Study the Kabbalion, because those principles govern everything. Principle of mentalism, correspondence, cause and effect, rhythm, vibration, gender, polarity. We can go on, but it's all there. And you got to remind yourself, with so much wisdom, why are so many people still only focusing on the Super Bowl? Slow motion. With so much wisdom, why are so many people only focusing on the Grammys? Why are so many people only focusing on the news? Being entertained, distracted. With so much wisdom, why are people only on TikTok clout chasing? It's because a lot of people aren't ready yet. Keep dancing on TikTok, because that's what you need to do right now. But when you're ready for the next level, we're waiting for you. Shout out to everyone who's here. So many wonderful deep divers who are here. So many wonderful deep divers. Crowds create energy. And that's why I told you, all of these sporting events, Super Bowls, all of these things are rituals. And it's really to cast spells and change perception. So, like I said, deep divers, there's a bit of truth in everything. Yes, it could have been a unidentified flying object, but are you going to tell us exactly what it is? Hell no. They're not going to tell you exactly what it is, because it wouldn't benefit them to tell you that. So you got to remind yourself that you can't expect the whole truth from the media. You can't expect the whole truth from NASA. They're not here to give you the truth, because it's a secret society. To get that truth, you're going to have to go on a big journey on your own. Do your own research. And that takes work. You can't expect someone just to give you the truth and say, hey, it's like this. You got to do the work yourself. You got to find out yourself. You got to go to the library, go and read the books. You got to meditate, go within yourself. That's the real work to get the real knowledge. But you can't just sit at home, eat popcorn and hot dogs and say, and think that you know what's going on. Because if you think that, you got another thing coming. Right? You're never ever going to be handed it on a platter. You're never ever going to be handed it on a platter. Nobody's going to tell you, okay, this happened and it's like this. Who do you think you are? That people are just going to serve you the truth on the platter? Don't you know that truth is costly? It comes at a price. You got to pay for it. And that's the reason why there's levels to this. So I always say, anything I'm told, I can't believe it. I've got to do my own research. I've got to know it for myself. And that takes time. So right now we're in the time of critical thinking. And this is how we can all free ourselves. We have to have critical thinking. You know, to be a critical thinker is to question everything in your reality. Rob Lepine. Rob Lepine, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. I had a run-in with the Matrix Ralph. A new chapter is about to come into being. We're the Rainbow Warriors and we're bringing in the new world. Absolutely. A new chapter is coming into being. We're the Rainbow Warriors and we're bringing in the new world. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I'm just sitting back and watching the show, Deep Divers. The cat down the road has got his popcorn because it knows it's all happening right now. It's all happening right now. You know, you want to really realize these are monumental times we're living in. These are great times we're living in. These are great times of change we're living in. And so much is unfolding. And like I say, it's all going to come at once. It's all going to happen at once. And that's the reason why the ancients would talk about this time where so many things happen that people are so traumatized, they can't even digest it. People are in such shock, they can't even process it. It's like what happened in Turkey. This is crazy. Over 35,000 people in Turkey and Syria have lost their lives, right? This is crazy. People can't even process it. You know why? Because there's so much happening in the world. There's so many things happening all at once. And this is why we're in the quickening. And that's the reason why in a time like this, you want to go within. You want to take time out. You want to focus on yourself. You want to meditate. And you want to heal yourself. Because a lot more is on the way. You haven't seen anything yet. You know, Mother Nature is communicating to us. I told you. Gaia is alive. I'm alive. And we have to remind ourselves that we have to send good energy to Turkey, to Syria, all of those places which have been affected by this because they need it. And we've got to remind ourselves, don't think that what's happening over there has nothing to do with you. Everything is connected. And I talked about this butterfly effect. When something happens in one area of the planet, it affects everywhere. It didn't just happen in Turkey and Syria. It created a ripple butterfly effect that affected the whole world. So that's the reason why anything that happens is going to affect everywhere else. Doesn't matter where you are because everything is connected. So that's the reason why we've got to become aware of what's happening, spread good energy out there, and all of that. Let's raise the frequency, deep divers. Let's raise the frequency. I want everybody to hit that like button. Hit that like button, share the video.
By the way you say my name, say my
One love to everybody. We're just raising the frequency. How you feeling today, deep divers? Let me take it back to a song which is very pertinent right now. Right now, it's about following your heart. Hit that like button, deep diver. Share this video. Hit that like button. Share this video. Somebody out there needs to see this and listen to this.
We live in a society where people hate their jobs, media and wrong nutrition take away our faith in God. They changing our thoughts, how can you say this ain't a plot? And if we don't react, we can expect that our brains will rot. See, every one of us got a purpose, now go and find it. Actually, you don't have to look for it if you're open-minded. Everything's connected, but the way we live is so divided. I'm just trying to enlighten you, cause the human folk is blinded. Your thoughts are responsible for how you perceive your life. Humans got different opinions, so do what you believe is right. Religions were invented to control and to make people fight. Why should I go to church? I just talk to God if I need advice. Fuck the separation, we're supposed to be a unity. Too many shady intentions, no one cares about you and me. I became suspicious, don't even eat the food I used to eat. Don't get manipulated and be careful what you choose to be. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart.
Better listen to your heart.
No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible as long as you breathe. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Look, if you wanna achieve something, you don't need massive luck. If it's something you really want, then all you need to have is guts. Your subconscious mind and thoughts are shaping your reality, so own it yourself if you ain't satisfied with your salary. See, everything you do should be done with enthusiasm. Love is important too, and do never ever lose your passion. Enjoy the moment and stay away from things you can't control, and focus on the news if you really want to expand your soul. They only show us all the negative things that happen now. The problem we have is the false knowledge that's getting passed around. All these people who control the world are really selfish beasts, making us insecure and taking away our self-esteem. I'm the only person I know who questions his existence. Maybe it's my purpose to spread the truth with explicit wisdom. I will be glad if I could make this planet a better place. And if you got the same intention, then you shouldn't hesitate. People always tell you what you can, but it's wrong. You should never really give a damn if you're strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. No matter what they say, hold on to your dream, cause anything is possible as long as you breathe. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Start to live in harmony and stop to live in doubt and fear. Find a reason to smile instead of drowning in 1,000 tears. Ask your heart for advice so you won't regret your chosen path. Everybody needs motivation, you can't be too old for that. Showing gratitude is necessary for your future goals. You need to learn from your losses, but you should never lose your hope. Satan was created by humans to make us feel afraid. They're trying to confuse us so we don't even know what's real and fake. Listen closely to your heart so no one can control your mind. Don't believe everything just cause you hear it from an older guy. Don't get me wrong, I don't say that everything you've been told's a lie, but there are a lot of people who wanna say your soul is mine. You gotta protect it, ensure that your heart is guiding you. If you follow your intuition, it's easy to find the truth. Don't let your ego hinder you from living your life in peace. You will never reach your full potential if your mind is weak. People always
Oh yeah, shout out to Chaos Steve. Follow your heart, listen to your heart, deep divers. Had to play you that song. I always listen to that song when I need inspiration. It really is a great song, great message, and that's what it's all about right now, you know. So like I said, deep divers, a lot of strange things are happening. A lot of UFOs are being spotted and being shot down, and like I said, a fourth one has just been shot down in Lake Huron in Michigan, and something is happening. A lot of people know something is going on, and you really want to remind yourself right now, protect your energy, focus on yourself, don't get distracted out here, and choose love. Like I say, I had to share that with you, deep divers. Shout out to everyone who's here. everybody who's diving deep. And like I say, I love all of you. Go and check out that new video I put out as well. And it's been a powerful show. Powerful show. Let me shout out to everyone who made it here. Powerful show. Hit that like button, deep diver. Share the video. Hit that like button. Share the video. And you know, much love to all of you deep divers. I just came here to give you good vibes, good frequencies, and like I say, powerful time we're living in. So, much love to everybody. Like I said, if there was a specific message you wanted to put in, there was a specific question, you can always write it in the chat. But I feel that we've covered enough for today. But, you know, one love to all of you deep divers. This was a great show. Let love guide you, not fear. And let's raise the frequency.
How do I deal with what I'm feeling? Maybe I just don't.
Let's go back to the golden age. Let's go back to the golden age, deep divers. Brianna Anderson, shout out to you. Shout out to Brianna Arrington. Thank you for consistently provoking thought, unity, and excellence. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. You are appreciated. Golden age time.
There's two ways to live. You can be stressed or you can relax. You can go crazy or take a moment to see what's just happened. The choice is yours to create balance. Just dance to the rhythm of the beat. Time to be free. You can find your way out to live free. It's time to be free, yeah. Be the change that you wanna see. We can make a difference if we open our minds and turn off the TV. Be unique, be yourself. Don't copy anybody, just be yourself. Cause at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Trust me, I've been there, been where you don't wanna go on a cold night when it's freezing, frosty, cold, not sunny. But I got up, cause I'm a champion. I keep shining, stay smiling.
Stay smiling. You Dazone, you are appreciated. So many wonderful deep divers who are here. Like I said, powerful show. And what you can expect is more inspiration from Infinite Waters, more upliftment from Infinite Waters. We're taking it to a whole nother level because that's what it's always about. You know, I want to encourage you to take it to a whole nother level of your life. You know, with so much happening in the world, a lot of people get lost in the source. You've got to ask yourself, how is my life changing for the better? That's what you got to ask yourself. If you see a news story or anything like this, ask yourself, how is my life changing for the better? How is this helping me? If it's not helping you evolve, it's a distraction. If it's not helping you evolve, it's a distraction. If it's not helping you evolve, it's a distraction. Rudy, you are appreciated. Shout out to you. And this is what I've always known. It's what I've always known, that what is truly helping you is never, ever gonna distract you from where you need to be. And that's why all my videos are helping you shift back into alignment to become your greatest version, to wake up, empower yourself. And you have to ask yourself, if I'm listening to someone, if I'm on TikTok, wherever you want to be, how is this helping you go to the next level? Because if not, you're wasting time. And right now, you got to remind yourself, this is the time for awakening. A lot of people are changing. Because you see, in this time, this is the time where everybody wakes up. Everybody is going to be confronted with a piece of truth. And even people who are fast asleep, they're getting a knock on their door. What was that? Wake up, huh? Wake up, huh? Wake up. So once upon a time, it was cool to be ignorant. You could get by being ignorant. Not anymore. Being ignorant out here will get you killed. Being ignorant out here will keep you in a prison. Knowledge is power. Pardon? Knowledge is power. So many wonderful deep divers. Hit that like button, deep divers. Share the video. Hit that like button. Share the video. Why the turquoise necklace? Why the turquoise necklace? That's a great question. Well, you know, turquoise is always a powerful stone. In fact, the ancient Kemites, Egyptians would wear turquoise. It represents royalty, divine protection, super high frequency. But it's always a great stone for divine protection and royalty, knowing your worth, and it looks fantastic. And it's not cheap. You know, this is also about the levels. There is turquoise, which looks like real turquoise, but it's not. And there's a big difference. And this is how life is. You got the real jewelry and the fake one, right? The real jewelry and the fake. If you get the real turquoise, you're going to feel its power. Get the real turquoise, and you're going to feel its power. There's a reason why it's so expensive. That Navajo turquoise, amazing. And it's worth it. Right? It's worth it. I don't really wear jewelry. I just wear turquoise. I just wear turquoise. But powerful. You know, all the crystals are powerful, in fact. You know, quartz crystal is very powerful. And these are the crystals you want around you. If you are on the computer, I got these glasses. I don't even wear glasses. But I got these glasses on. These are the blue light glasses. And I always want to tell you that if you're on the computer, wear these blue light glasses, because it's going to protect your eyes from all of the L frequencies. Get yourself some blue light glasses. Get yourself some quartz crystals. Get yourself some sage. We are crystals ourselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are crystals ourselves. Absolutely. Obsidian, fantastic. Tourmaline, amazing. Quartz crystal. I love quartz crystal. You know, the transparency. Rose quartz as well is fantastic. Amethyst is also good. Amethyst is actually one of my favorites. There's a great bookshop in Abercrombie And they have the massive amethysts. I'm always in that bookshop. If you see me there, just say hi, Ralph. Right? But they have the massive amethyst stones. They're amazing. Moonstone is your favorite. That's what's up. MSNJKK, you are appreciated. So many stones, and we got to remind, this is where we're going back to, learning how you wear Baltic amber. That's fantastic. Moldavite, beautiful. Shungite, amazing. And that's what it's all about. I've got a lot of crystals. In fact, let me show you a quartz crystal. Right? This is a very powerful quartz crystal. And if you're somebody who uses a lot of technology, you want one of these around just to absorb the frequencies. It's a big quartz crystal. Right? But isn't it beautiful? Right? That's why I told you, when you learn the power of crystals, look at that. Look at that. That's a nice piece of bling. I should put this on a chain, deep divers. Look at my bling. Look at my bling. Right? Wear this like this. Right? It's heavy. It's heavy stuff, deep divers. Right? These are powerful, powerful, powerful. Thousands, millions of years old. I'm showing you my whole crystal collection, deep divers. This has turned into a crystal party. Turned into a crystal party. But that's what it's about. Right now, we got to protect our energy. Use what you can, And we got the drip. We got the drip on deck. Right? It's a powerful time right now. Deep divers, I love all of you. Shout out to everyone who's here. Everyone who's raising the frequency. Lapis lazuli. I've got that. That's a very powerful stone. Powerful crystal. Lapis lazuli. Amazing. And that's the reason why a lot of these crystals are so sought after. Because they have healing properties, healing qualities, and you really want to know what they do. Shungite crystal, fantastic. Ask just, does it work? I'm still here, deep divers. I've been here for years. The turquoise definitely helps me. Smoky quartz, wonderful. Hey, deep divers, I love all of you. Shout out to everyone who's here. Hit that like button, share the video, sending you all good energy. And, I'll be back. Raising the frequency. One love to all of you deep divers. Hit that like button, share the video. Let's go.
the streets so I can celebrate. Never knew a feeling better than today. Means the beginning of a brighter day. Letting in the feeling, mending what we break. Find the soul.
One love to you, deep divers. Let's raise the frequency with this.
You control the way you see the world. We've come so far, and now let go. Let the feeling take its toll. We've worked so hard, now don't you know? This is music for the soul. Let the music take control.
Deep divers, I love all of you. Peace, love, and harmony. Powerful show, powerful show. One love to all of you. Hit that like button, share the video. I'll be back again tomorrow. Lots to talk about. One love. Peace.